Hey everybody, my name is Dara and we're going to do some cooking today. We're going to make an avocado, walnut, and caramelized sweet potato salad. So I have all the ingredients laid out here and we're going to get started. So we're going to start by peeling and chopping up your sweet potato. So let's do that first. Alright, I peeled my sweet potato. Now we're going to chop it up into about diced bite-sized pieces. If you're making a full recipe, you're going to have 2 sweet potatoes. I'm just making half a recipe today, so I'm just going to do 1 sweet potato. So first, cut it into quarters, and then I'm going to cut it into smaller bite-sized pieces. Make sure you have a nice sharp knife for this. Sweet potato is hard to cut through. Okay, I have my sweet potato all chopped up. The pieces can be whatever size you like, just make sure they're all about the same size so it'll cook at the same speed. Okay, next step, we're going to start these sweet potatoes on the stove. So turn your stove on to medium heat. We're going to add our oil, whatever kind of oil you like. I'm using olive oil today. If you have another favorite or whatever you have on hand, it's not a big deal. Olive oil goes in, give that a little swirl around, and let that heat up just for a couple minutes. And then we're going to put the sweet potatoes in and get those to start caramelizing. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to start chopping up my other ingredients. So we're going to start with the avocado and the red onion. Set my avocado. Be careful not to cut your fingers. Don't want an avocado injury. Okay, twist it around the pit. For dicing an avocado, I think it's easier to peel it first. Some people like to cut it in there. Do whatever you like best. Be careful when you're getting the pit out. You can use your knife, or you can peel around it. Peel this half. Of course, that other side peeled way easier. There we go. Alright, for this recipe you want an avocado that's a little bit firm, still not too soft, like we would normally pick out. And I'm just going to dice this up. Again, whatever size pieces you like, whatever's bite-sized to you. We're going to throw this into our mixing bowl for later. Right, my pan has heated up, so I'm going to throw my sweet potatoes in here, get those to start caramelizing. Alright, give them a good mix so that they all get a little bit of that oil on them. These are going to take a little while to cook. And if you don't have the time or you don't have the patience to stand here by the stove, they're real easy to throw in the oven as well. Coat them with all your seasonings that I'm going to throw in here, and then just throw them in the oven until they're cooked. That works too. Alright, I think I got them pretty well coated in the oil, so I'm going to throw in the salt, pepper, and honey. I already have it measured out here. And I chose to use honey. You can use sugar or any other kind of sweetener that you have handy. Honey was easiest for me to use, so that is what I have here. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Sweet potatoes have a nice natural flavor to them, so we don't need to add too much, which makes this recipe pretty easy. Don't need any weird spices going on. So I'm going to mix this around. Make sure that gets coated. Salt and pepper and honey gets on every little piece of sweet potato here. Alright, we're going to let these sit here and start to get cooked through, and I'm going to work on chopping up my onion. We'll give this a stir every so often. That's good. Let that get nice and cooked. Alright, next up, we're going to chop up this red onion. If you are sensitive to onions or you don't like onions, just leave this ingredient out. Start by cutting off both ends. And that is going to help you to peel your onion. Gonna need a little muscle. Okay, there we go. That has a hefty skin to it. So we want to peel this outside off. I can already tell this is going to be a strong onion. I can smell it already. I can hear my sweet potatoes are sizzling over here. Getting caramelized. It's going to be delicious. Alright, I got most of the skin off. So I'm just going to use about 1/4 of this onion, because I don't want too much in there, especially this recipe that's raw onion. So I'm going to cut these nice and small into little strips. Okay, so my onion is chopped. I'm going to throw that in here with my avocado. Give these sweet potatoes a stir. Oh yeah, I can tell they're getting caramelized on one side. Smells good. Sweet potatoes are such a yummy fall food. They got that orange color and a nice flavor for fall. So we want to make sure our sweet potatoes get cooked through, so they're going to be a little bit crispy on the outside and then nice and soft on the inside. So these are going to take a little bit longer. So we do here. Want to make sure they get brown on all sides. That really brings out that caramelized flavor we want. Okay, while those keep cooking, we're going to make the dressing that is going to go on top of all of this. The dressing is going to go right in here with our avocado and onion that we already have going. So we're going to start with some oil. Pour that in. Then we need a little bit of lemon juice. I have the pre-juiced. If you prefer to juice your own lemon, more power to ya. So I'm just doing half recipe, so 1 tablespoon of that for me. And then we're going to do a little bit of honey to add a little bit of sweetness. I'm just doing half a tablespoon. Maybe we'll wait on that one. Let that sit for a second. A little bit of garlic. If you have fresh garlic, that's great. I like to use this dried garlic because it doesn't go bad. It's easy to keep it on hand for whenever you need some. A little bit of salt. I think our honey is ready to squeeze out. And I just need half a tablespoon here, so I'm going to eyeball it. Give me a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. And if you don't have honey, just use a regular sugar, or you can even use like maple syrup or anything that'll give it a little bit of sweetness. And we're just going to give that a little bit of a mix so it can start to coat our avocado and onion. And once these sweet potatoes are done, they're going to go in there with that dressing as well. And you can mix up your dressing separately if you want to. Dishes are my least favorite part of cooking, so I like to use as few dishes as possible in my kitchen. Alright, so that's pretty well mixed. Let me give my sweet potatoes a stir. Check on those guys. Oh yeah, they're getting done. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Smells good, you guys. Alright, let's see if they're getting tender on the inside here. Yeah, it feels like they are. Starting to. And again, oven is a great option for sweet potatoes too. Does not take them long at all in the oven. If you wanted to make this into a bigger recipe and you don't have a skillet that's going to fit all of it, throw them on a baking sheet in the oven. So these are going to take just a couple more minutes, and we should be able to toss it all together. The potatoes are looking like they're about done. I like to use a fork to kind of test their doneness. So you want it to go in nice and smooth and not still be hard. So these look pretty good to me. We don't want them to be too soft for this recipe because we're not mashing them or anything. So looks pretty good to me. I'm going to toss these right into here with my avocado and onion and let them get tossed in that dressing that we put in there. We're going to keep this pan on the stove because we're going to toast our walnuts up just a little bit. So I'm going to throw those right in. If you don't like walnuts, that's easy to sub any other nut, almonds, pecans, whatever you like. We're going to give these a little toast. I'm going to let those chill in the pan for a second. Give this a quick toss. Make sure our sweet potatoes get in with that dressing. Sweet potatoes smell really good. The honey was making them nice and sticky. It's going to be good. Alright, you can see my avocado is kind of smishing a little bit, so that's why we want a little bit firmer avocado, but that's okay. Still going to taste good. Alright, while we wait for these to toast up a little bit, I'm going to throw in our final ingredient, which is dried cranberries. So that's going to add a little bit more sweetness in with these flavors. If you don't like cranberries, there's plenty of other dried fruit options, or you can totally leave them out. I think this would be good with any other dried fruit option. If you pick a bigger one like apricots or anything, you might want to chop them a little bit, but it's going to be good. Add some good color in here too. A little bit deeper red in with our orange and green. Alright. So you want to toast these just for a couple minutes until you kind of start to smell them. They're going to get just a little bit brown, but nothing too crazy. The toasting is just going to really bring out their flavor and add a nice crunch in this salad. Alright, these walnuts are smelling like they are done, so I'm going to turn my burner off. And I'm going to toss them in with the rest of our salad here. Give that a stir. And we are done. Time to dig in.